Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I've got a hauntingly beautiful story to share with you all. Get ready to dive into a spooky romance tale that will tug at your heartstrings and maybe even make you shed a tear or two. Let's kick things off with a chilling fact about the history of ghostly romance stories that will captivate your imagination. Ghostly love has always fascinated us, and today's story is no exception. My name is Ria, and I'm from Delhi. I'm 26 years old, and until now I had never downloaded a dating app. In my 26 years, I've had 2 boyfriends. But as you can probably guess from my story, they are both my exes, and my relationships with them didn't go well. To be honest, they were both very toxic, and I don't know why I always choose such guys. Maybe it's a personality trait, but I tend to like toxic characters, whether in movies, TV shows, or series. My last boyfriend was when I was 22, and after that, I completely gave up on dating. I decided to focus on my career, earning money, and taking care of my family. But 4 years later, I kind of feel lonely. I want someone to be there for me when I go out, to take me on dates, talk to me a lot, and call me at night. So this Valentine's Day, feeling fed up, I finally installed a dating app on my phone. I think it was one of my biggest mistakes. I didn't know much about dating apps, so I downloaded the one I had always heard about, Tinder. A friend of mine helped me set up my profile, and I was really nervous about everything. I thought no one would like me because, if I'm being honest, I don't think I look that good. But to my surprise, as soon as my profile was set up, I started getting a lot of matches. Before I could even learn what left swipe and right swipe meant, I was getting matches left and right. My friend assured me that this was normal on Tinder and told me not to pay much attention, just choose anyone I liked. So I started going through the matches, and there was one guy who really caught my eye. The guy's name was Vikram, and he seemed very sophisticated. His profile had only 4 photos, but from the first 3 I could tell he was a businessman. He looked very tidy, very tall, and really good looking. The last photo was the one that caught my eye. It was a shirtless picture, which kind of wowed me. So yes, I matched with him because of a shirtless pic. I know, very shallow, but I just want to be honest here. We chatted for a while, and he seemed very genuine. He asked me if I was religious and believed in good and bad deeds. I said yes, and he was glad to hear that because, according to him, most girls these days don't believe in God. They only believe in partying, which made me laugh a lot. We exchanged our Instagram handles, and even though he had work that day, Vikram said he would take a day off for our first date, and we decided to meet at 11 a.m. I can't describe how nervous I was that day. I'm not the kind of girl who goes on dates or meets someone she doesn't know. Also, I didn't want Vikram to know that I was uncomfortable, so I was just trying to prepare myself during the metro ride, telling myself that he is there to impress me, not the other way around. But I was also being realistic, thinking that Vikram could get anyone he wanted. He is very good looking and has his own business, so why did he pick me? Maybe he liked my personality. Lost in these thoughts, I reached Connaught Place without realizing it. And when I exited the metro, I saw Vikram waiting for me. I waited a few minutes to see what he would do. And then I saw a girl approaching him. She put her hand on his shoulder and talked to him. Suddenly, Vikram pushed her away, folded his hands, said something to her, and she left. Then I approached Vikram and said hi to him awkwardly. His eyes showed that he was also very nervous. We started walking to the cafe where we had decided to eat. Since I didn't have much to ask and was very nervous, I asked Vikram about the girl who approached him. He said he didn't know her. When I asked why she put her hand on his shoulder, he said he didn't know, but it made him feel really uncomfortable. Hearing this, I laughed loudly for some reason, and I think Vikram also found it funny, so he laughed too. Vikram told me that he usually doesn't go on dates because he started his business 2 years ago and doesn't have much time. He just wanted to find someone he could connect with. And he said he thinks he found that person in me. That made me blush so much that my cheeks turned red, and my heart was pounding. I was nervous but also inching closer to him. We talked for so long that I didn't realize when it was evening. Vikram suggested we go for an ice cream date, and I agreed. Walking and talking, we roamed around, and I was having a good time. My nervousness was gone, and I was being frank with him. I told him about my exes, and he also told me about his one girlfriend, but he didn't tell me why they broke up despite my asking many times. I thought maybe he didn't want to share that right now, so I didn't push it. We went back home in the evening. I won't lie. I kept thinking about Vikram the whole night and really wanted to text him, but I waited for his text. As soon as I reached home, Vikram texted, asking if I got home safely, and I was so happy. The next week, we planned another date. But this time, Vikram said he couldn't take a day off, so he asked me to come near his office. I understood his problem and agreed. I reached near his office around 5:30 p.m., and Vikram was waiting for me downstairs. We planned to go for a drive, but because of Delhi's traffic, our car couldn't go far. Vikram suggested we go to his house and he would cook for me, promising to drop me back home afterward. For some reason, I trusted him and said yes. That was my biggest mistake. We reached Vikram's house around 8 p.m. Before entering, I told him maybe I shouldn't come inside. But Vikram assured me that his mom also lived with him, which made me feel a bit safe. We went inside and he showed me around his house. Then he asked me to wait in his bedroom while he went to do something. He told me to make myself comfortable but not to come out of the room, which I found weird. He left, closing the door behind him. I was on edge. 10 minutes passed, and Vikram hadn't returned. Every negative thought was running through my mind. I thought maybe I was overthinking, but 20 minutes passed and Vikram still didn't come back. Every second I could hear the ticking of the clock, and I was really scared. I decided I couldn't stay there any longer and needed to leave. I came out of the bedroom and was about to head for the main door when I heard a chanting sound from another room. I was about to open the main door, but my curiosity got the better of me, and I walked towards the room from where the sound was coming. I took slow steps so Vikram wouldn't hear me. As I got closer, the sound got louder. I stood next to the door and realized it was Vikram's voice. I thought maybe he was praying, but why would he pray for 20 minutes when he had a guest? Nothing was making sense. I wanted to call out to him, but then something weird happened. Vikram started howling. I don't know how to explain it, but it was very painful to hear. I was scared and wanted to run away, but I also wanted to know what he was doing. I put my hand on the doorknob and opened it slowly. What I saw was unbelievable. There were no idols or pictures of gods. Vikram was sitting in the middle of the room, and in front of him was a sign made of flour. I don't know what the sign was, but I could tell he wasn't praying to gods. Vikram and I made eye contact, and he got very angry. The first thing that came to my mind was to run from there, but my legs were frozen. Vikram stood up slowly, and there were pieces of lemon and chili under his feet. He had a red thread in his left hand and asked me why I came out of the room. In that instant, I ran from there, leaving my sandals behind. I quickly went downstairs and got into an auto. The auto driver didn't ask me anything and just drove away. After a while, he asked if I was okay and if I needed to go to a police station because I looked very scared. I told him to drop me at the nearest metro station, thinking I would be safe in a crowd. He nodded and took me there. I went straight home after that. The whole night, I kept waiting to hear Vikram's footsteps, but thankfully nothing happened. The next day, Vikram called me, but I didn't answer and blocked him. I told my friend about it, and she laughed, thinking I made everything up. But I know what I saw that day, and I don't have an explanation for it. One thing is for sure, I'm never installing Tinder again. Well, that's it for today's video. I hope you guys liked it. So friends, how did you like the video? Let me know in the comments. If you liked the video, then give it a like and stay tuned by subscribing. And with that, I hope you guys are happy and healthy. See you next week. Bye-bye.